The sound fills every corner of the room. It flows from the fingers of the musicians to the hearts of those experiencing the music, and those who create the magic with these keys are quick to credit the piano.
Well, for me, this is a really exciting moment because I have never played on a Fazioli before. It took me a little bit of time to adjust to the fast and the quick action, and the sound is very clear, and the sustaining of the instrument is incredible, and loving it.
The Fazioli piano is the masterpiece of this man, Paolo Fazioli. He traveled to Vancouver from Italy for this event, showcasing his pianos at the Pan Pacific Hotel. His most elaborate and expensive piano, the $500,000 M Liminal, sat in the lobby, giving people here their first chance to see the piano while it's on its Canadian tour. But Fazioli didn't start making high-end luxury items. His humble beginnings go back to a corner of his family furniture factory with an idea to make a piano for love instead of money.
At that moment, I was more strong and more ready to afford such kind of project. And this was 30 years ago when I put together one group of people, all of them expert in some parts of the piano. There was a technologist on the wood, there was one scientist in acoustic, there was a piano maker, there was me. I was just pianist and also engineer at that moment.
Today, that factory employs about 40 people, all considered members of the Fazioli family. They create about 110 pianos a year. All have 18-karat gold hinges and rare wood sanded, polished, and lacquered by hand. And each one is tested by Paolo Fazioli before it leaves the factory floor.
Our philosophy is founded on the quality. All the other factory, they are factory that's where the most important thing is the industrial mentality, also the industrial system. So that's to make one piano prototype and then to make thousands of copy. But the piano is not a car, is not a refrigerator. Is one instrument that the musician use for arts, no? And then must be something that must follow another logic, not the industrial one.
It's just simply fabulous. For me, it is a marriage of art and science, so it produces a very aristocratic sound. It allows me to express different kind of expression, different passion, the joy, melancholy, and all that.
There's lots of richness in the Fazioli. There's lots of richness in the Steinway too, but the Fazioli seems to have a clarity beyond, and it's just a lovely, lovely instrument. I can do anything I want on it.
Hundreds of people packed into this hotel ballroom on a Sunday afternoon to experience a Fazioli concert, and the piano even prompted some words of praise from a Hollywood actor.
And I was very happy with the Mason until I played a Fazioli, because they have this, there's no real point for me in describing it because it affects everybody differently. But these pianos are absolutely exquisite.
And after the musicians took to the stage, that unique sound that is synonymous with the Fazioli, the clarity mixed with clear silence, left many in awe.
First time I played with Fazioli was very fascinating. I was very surprised about the Fazioli. It was a very different piano from I played before.
Exquisite. And the performers were absolutely moving. A good piano helps too.
It was beautiful. And the sound is so beautiful and nice and warm, just unbelievable piano.
I have one at home actually, and we'd had a couple of concerts and phenomenal.
The distributor for Eastern Canada explains why people are happy to pay upwards of $100,000 to take one home.
I think If you put it in perspective, many people will pay $80,000 to $125,000 on a good automobile, and knowing that they're going to get 5 to 10 years of life out of something like this. This is about the same price. It's completely hand-built and is made to last 80 years. And we know that they appreciate in values.
And in Vancouver, sales have exceeded all expectations.
We started at the end of 2007, and right from the beginning we had Angela Hewitt come through here, who's considered to be one of the greatest players of Bach of our time. We got a lot of exposure. Global TV came down to interview her, and of course they asked us how many Fazioli pianos we thought we would sell. They're quite expensive. They start, close to $100,000. And I said maybe 2 or 3, and in our first year we sold about 13.
The Fazioli is a very creative piano. It really lets you do all that your imagination wants to do with the piano. It has a huge range of color, from the most powerful sounds to the most delicate sounds, which are all produced with great ease. And now I own 2. I have a concert grand as well, which sits in my home in Italy, which is the one I use for all my recordings. And it's a fabulous instrument. And I can play all the repertoire on it, really, from Bach to contemporary music and romantic music. And so it's my most precious possession, yeah.
Vancouver's premier hotel, the Shangri-La, chose a Fazioli for its piano lounge. It was a delivery that attracted national media attention and was witnessed by Fazioli himself.
Very nice.
But it's not just concert pianists and those who devote their lives to making music who fall in love with the Fazioli piano.
We were at the Chan Theater. Angela Hewitt was playing the piano. And this particular day, I didn't look at the piano. I didn't look at the label because same old piano. When she started to play, I nudged my wife and I said, "Listen to that piano. I can't believe it." And then I looked at the label and I saw Fazioli. And I didn't even know where it came from at that time. But I said to my wife at the end of that concert, "We have to go down and have a listen to that piano. I want you to play it."
I knew it was a very expensive piano, so I was a little bit hesitant. And my husband said, "Look, we only live once. Let's go and play. And you've been playing this other piano brand a lot. Let's go up." And when we went up, what happened?
I knew I was in deep trouble within 5 minutes. You started to play the piano. I saw the expression on your face. I was listening to it too, so I was certainly in tune with your thoughts. But at the end of just 4 or 5 minutes, I think we were both in love.
This piano is superior to anything I've ever played. We started off with our family with the Heinzmann, but nothing like the Fazioli. It's just a whole, to my mind, a leap above anything else.
Sort of in a league of its own.
It is.
And it's that connection with those who play at home, those who play for a living, and those who are just starting out, Fazioli continues to make. While some piano makers insist musicians sign contracts and refuse to share display space with other brands, Fazioli believes in artistic freedom, and he lives by a simple rule: musicians can play on whatever piano they choose.
This is my profession. If they like, I'm very happy. If they don't like, I must think that maybe there is something that I must improve.
But if sales are any indication, there's no improvement needed.
A couple of people came in off the street, and I didn't have an appointment with them or anything. I had never met them. And they sat down to play on the Fazioli. They just wanted to be left alone to experience the piano for what it was. And within 10 to 15 minutes, you can hear them gasping at the sounds that they were hearing and the action that they were playing on. And they made a purchase decision immediately. They came over and bought it right away.